Welcome to TWIN BUSCH Germany, your competent specialist since 1997 in professional vehicle workshop equipment. With a corporate headquarters in Germany and 9 other branches in 7 countries, as well as over 40 sales partners worldwide, we are one of the leading manufacturers of vehicle lifts, wheel balancers, and tire changers. Hello, we will now show you how to assemble your TWIN BUSCH 1-post lift TW125F. The TW125F lift is delivered on a single pallet. In our case, we will use 2 persons and a motor crane for the assembly. If you don't have a motor crane or another lifting device available, we recommend to assemble the lift with at least 3 strong persons. Lift the post slightly with a suitable lifting sling so that it doesn't tip over during the unpacking. Remove the box with the motor unit. Remove the box with the control unit as well. You should open this box right away because the instruction manuals are in it. Read the instructions carefully before continuing with the assembly. Loosen the post and put it aside. To protect the floor against damages, you should put something under the post, such as rubber blocks for example. Take out the package with the ramps. Next, we will lift the package with the lifting arm unit from the pallet. Put a lifting sling around the lifting arm unit as shown here. Lift the lifting arm unit slightly. We will put a wooden block under the arm unit because we have to displace the lifting sling towards the middle for further transportation. You can now move the lifting arm unit and put it aside. We will use wooden blocks again to remove the lifting sling easily and to avoid damaging the floor. Unpack the base plate. Take the base plate to its future position. The lift should be anchored to the floor with the included heavy-duty anchor bolts before continuing with the assembly. Here we show an example of how to drill and fix the anchor bolts. Be careful to drill the right size and depth, and the right concrete thickness. If the anchor bolts are not fixed correctly, or if the concrete does not conform to the technical requirements, this could affect the stability of the lift. The exact technical requirements can be found in the instruction manual. To fix the anchor bolts, you do not have to move the lift. Drill vertically and take care of the depth. Be sure to remove all dust and debris from the drill hole. Drive in the anchor bolt carefully and straight, using a sledgehammer. In the case of the one-post lift, the nuts of the base plate have to be tightened with a torque of 90 Newton meters. We place an anti-slip mat on the base plate. Remove the outer packaging from the post. We must now cut the wire that was holding the carriage for transportation. To erect the post, it has to be lifted with the motor crane again. You can now take the post to its intended position. We will use rubber blocks again to lower the post safely. The lifting sling will be moved towards the bottom of the post for alignment. We will push the post a bit further so that the bottom lays on top of the anti-slip mat after lowering the post. For your own safety, we recommend erecting the post with at least 3 persons or an auxiliary device like a forklift or a mounting crane. The holes at the bottom of the post will now be aligned to the holes on the base plate. Make sure the post cannot fall until it is finally fixed to the base plate. Open the box with the motor unit now. The black bolts for fixing the post can be found in it, as well as the heavy-duty anchor bolts and the galvanized bolts to hang the motor unit. Fix the post on the base plate with the black bolts. Remove the black bolts from the carriage and put them aside. Unpack the lifting arm unit. To transport the lifting arm unit, it should be lifted slightly first and then rubber blocks will be placed under it. The lifting sling can be moved now and the lifting arm unit can be taken to its intended position. We place wooden blocks on the base plate to protect it from scratches while lowering the lifting arm unit. Let's focus on the motor unit. Lay the motor unit on its side and prepare the bolts to hang it. Put a bolt with a nut in each of the two upper holes. The motor unit can now be hung on the post. Now, insert the two lower bolts with a nut each. Tighten all 4 bolts. Tighten the motor's hydraulic connection. The connection between the hydraulic aggregate and the post can now be established with the pre-mounted hydraulic hose. Open the control box. Take out the 4 pre-mounted screws to mount the control box. Guide the 2 cables on the post into the control box. Screw the control box tightly on the post. Please note, the following electrical installation should only be carried out by a qualified electrician. After mounting the control box, we will remove the plastic protection from the junction box. There, the two cables for the limit switch are screwed to the right of the bar. The motor cable can be connected now. We open the box on the motor unit to do this. There we open the two upper right clamps to which the red test cables are connected. Remove the two red test cables from the box, but remember where they were connected. The motor cable must be connected to these connections. The cables coming out from the bottom of the control box are the cables for the motor. Guide these cables into the box. Let's start with the two black motor cables, which will be screwed to the previously open connections. It doesn't matter which cable goes into which of the two connections. We now come to the yellow-green earth wire, which is screwed to the back of the box. The electrical wiring is thus concluded and the motor and control boxes can be closed again. We can now adjust the lever for the release valve. To do this, the nut will be loosened and the lever will be turned around. Tighten the nut again afterwards. Fill the oil tank with HLP32 hydraulic oil up to the mark. This is normally 10 liters. The lift can now be connected. Make sure that your socket is protected with a 16 amperes slow blow fuse. C. Turn on your lift and lift up until the holes on the carriage and the lifting arm unit are aligned. We can now bolt both parts together with the previously removed black bolts. Tighten one of the middle bolts first, followed by the two upper bolts. Then you can tighten the rest of the bolts. Unpack the ramps. Place the ramps on both sides of the base plate. The bolts of the lifting arm unit are tightened with a torque of 200 Newton meters. The bolts of the post must also be tightened with a torque of 200 Newton meters. Finally, we will lift up the carriage all the way to test the limit switch. The assembly of your TW125F is thus concluded.